Hello ladies, gentlemen, and other internet friends. Sorry it's been a while. I've been working on a bit of a new idea for you guys. I'm going to be doing a series of videos called Starcraft 2 Quick Tips. I know a lot of you will be watching the likes of Day9 and other helpful people in the industry who are pretty much a godsend to us noobs. So his videos are pretty long though, an hour is a bit of a commitment, and sometimes people don't have time to fit that in, and if they want a little bit of quick advice, it's not the best place to go. It's quite in-depth, it can get quite heavy. So what I've been looking at doing is just a series of short, 5-minute videos to cover some basic points and maybe some little quick tips and guides on how to do some good juicy stuff in StarCraft 2. So this video is going to be about TvT, specifically using Vikings and tanks, which is the pretty much standard composition, with a handful of some Marines in there as well, and how to kind of control those units properly in a fight. So I'm going to point out straight away that I don't do things perfectly, but then again, this was a massively set up game, so it does come across as a bit sterile maybe and fake, but just go with it and hopefully you can learn something from it as well. And it is worth pointing out, I recorded this whole frickin' replay and video for you. It was a good, a bit over 5 minutes, but realised I'd not enabled sound on XSplit, which is what I'm using to record. So you can hear me talking, but with absolutely zero game sounds. I was checking through the file and realised my tanks are shelling away, and to complete silence, just to my annoying voice in the background. So, back to the game. Okay, I've got a standard composition here. Marines, some tanks in there, and the Vikings. All in separate control groups. Very, very important. That's the first thing you should be doing. My opponent is Cole, who's been kind enough to help me do this, Nathan. But he's going to be a massive faggot and just be annoying. He didn't engage where I told him to. He decides, I want to take out his base first with a shit ton of Marines. Okay, so I'm going to go let him do that and patiently wait here. Oh, quick, a first little bit of help there. Already using the Vikings to spot the high ground to get some vision. But hopefully he's going to cooperate now and pull his Marines back into this the arena, which I've told him that we're going to engage in. So yeah, the map is Metalopolis, which is quite a good map to demonstrate it on because there's a lot of straight passageways, long passageways with high ground. So first thing to note, using your Vikings to trade. If you know you have more Vikings than the other player, it's sometimes worse just to take them in and trade. You're going to lose a few Vikings, but if you trade with them, you have air superiority, and that is absolutely key in this matchup. So I'm going to move my Vikings in now and start moving them in. Could micro that away, maybe. It's quite easy to micro Vikings, especially if you can see the ones on lower health. So a bit of a mistake here. I should have kept some of my tank siege as well, moving the Marines to the front. Let's just ignore that bit. A bit of a misclick there, never mind. So I'm going to be moving these Vikings now just to fly around. I know that I have pretty much full air control at the moment, so I'm going to be spotting this high ground. See that tank up there? And normally that tank, because it has the high ground, it would outrange these tanks, but I'm going to move these in. You can actually click on the enemy tank and see its range, and I've got perfectly on the edge of that tank's range. And these Vikings spotting the high ground, my tank can actually take out one of his tanks. So Cole's going to move in now, seeing that I have the air advantage, but he's got nothing he can do. I've got a lot more Vikings, so a reactive starport is a great thing to have in TvT. And now what I should be doing, hopefully, is a technique called leapfrogging. So that's moving some tanks from the back and then moving to the front. So you always keep some tank siege. I can maybe keep my Vikings a little bit further forward just to spot more effectively. But you should never unsiege all your tanks at once. You're going to move these forward. And maybe get a little bit overzealous there, just creep it too much. So that tank's going to go down, which is something that I could improve on. But as you can see now, my Vikings are spotting from my tanks, which gives them a lot of increased range. So I'm picking up this depot. If these Marines step forward, they're going to get taken out as well. And then called on a few mules as well, which have been set to repair the tanks, which is another little tip you can do. You can call them down mid-battle for some quick repairs. So I'm going to be moving forward very slowly. It's all about being patient. And now, again, just using these Vikings, moving around, taking out any air that comes in. And as well, because, especially if the other person has all their Vikings taken out, it's going to bait the Marines forward to try and shoot the Vikings down. As soon as the Marines run forward, tanks are going to shoot them, and these tanks are going to do a lot of damage now. All these Marines are going to go down, and I'm just going to pull my Marines from the back now to clean up. And of course, you know, I can just bum rush these last few tanks with my a good amount of Marines. But I know at the start of the game I did have a vastly superior army to Cole. But let's ignore that. We're all talking about positioning, and we're talking about unit control. So I showed some average unit control, definitely not perfect, made a few mistakes, but that is the sort of style you should be going for. And there's the mana mule. So you should be going for your Vikings at the front, the tanks behind, and then the Marines just hovering around, just to repel any kind of rush that comes in. So the Vikings are the key unit, which should be moving around your tanks, giving sight all the way around so they can shoot. It might be worth sending one of them off separately just to scout around the map, because it's quite easy to get into tunnel vision when you're in a tank versus tank battle. So that's it for this game, guys. I hope it was of some use. Oh, I'm glad the game didn't crash. Last time I did it, I had a bit of a crash at the end, so I won't be putting that cast up. So key points, gonna go through them one by one. Use your tanks for vision. Okay, let me try again. Using your Vikings for vision, because your tank's siege range is actually further than the tank's vision on their own. So I know a lot of Terran players use scans, which you're trading away the 300 minerals from that mule, and it's wasting the scan. So if you use your Vikings to spot for your tanks, leapfrog by unsieging a few at the back and moving them to the front, and then be patient. I know when I've been playing TvT, I just want to go for the kill. I know I've got a shit ton tanks more than him. I just want to unsiege them all and move them forward, and I always get overzealous, ha ha ha, and I just move them in too close. I siege up, and by the time, because the siege animation does take quite a while, by the time they've sieged, I've already lost the front 4 tanks, which is huge and so unnecessary. So it's just moving them forward inch by inch, using the Vikings to make sure you can get the perfect positioning, and just maintaining that air control. It is important to keep pumping out those Vikings, because if the other Terran player just suddenly, keeps a few in his base, masses up, and then pushes out, he can demolish all your Vikings, and then you can win the game. With less tank numbers as well, it is worth mentioning. The Vikings are the key unit. So, I hope this, as I've said, I hope this is of some help. I will be doing another video, hopefully straight after this, so I can get a few up. I have about 4 or 5 lined up at the moment. I should be doing some more. So hopefully it's a video that you can quickly watch. And learn something good from it. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye!